Hello, friends. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for being here. So, in this video, I am going to discuss the third type of soul contract. Okay, now if you haven't caught my video, the one that I uploaded before this, it is all about the first two types of soul contracts, namely the karmic relationship and the soulmate relationship. Okay, now all throughout a person's life, he or she will have had formed several karmic relationships and also several soulmate relationships there. But when it comes to the third type of soul contract, which is called the twin flame, this is the rarest form. So you could go through the rest of your life without experiencing this, or as some say, you can go through several lifetimes and you don't get to meet your twin flame. And it would happen, for example, that in this lifetime or in a certain lifetime, you get to meet your twin flame. And if and when you do, like for example, in this life, there are only just a few people of, who get to meet their twin flame. Okay, so um there I remember when I was much younger, in my teens actually, i I had a romanticized fantasy version of, you know, of romantic relationships, and I really wanted to meet the one for me, just the one. I knew that there was just one. So there, and at that time, the only term available was soulmate. So there, so I was thinking that I just want to meet my soulmate. So I didn't know that there were a lot of soulmates. But what I was actually thinking of before then, apparently, was a twin flame. Okay, I just learned about this term sometime over the last couple of years. There, now the twin flame journey is really difficult. That they say it's not for the faint of heart. Okay, because there are a lot of things and obstacles that you have to, you know, go through. Um, Obstacles that you have to really dismantle or something like that before you fulfill the twin flame journey. So there. Now, the concept of a twin flame is just like a single soul into separate bodies. So there, so they share one soul there. So a lot of times during the twin flame journey, they mirror each other because it's like their souls are sharing um the same thing basically. And when and if they get to meet, it's just like seeing yourself in another person. It's just like me, but another person. It's just like looking in the mirror. Okay, so there, where a karmic relationship is meant to appraise, like you try to find better for yourself, and a soulmate relationship is meant to teach you about love, self-love, and love for another person. The twin flame relationship is meant to teach you both and more than that. Okay, so there. Now, before twin flames are brought together for union, they undergo different stages that they really have to undergo. There. Now, going into the stages, the first stage is yearning. So the yearning stage is when like you feel like you want to meet the perfect partner. There's an intense yearning for you to meet the perfect partner. Or for example, if you've gone through a lot of relationships already that didn't work, you just want to really, really, really meet the one that you're going to end up with. So something like that. Okay, the one that would fulfill you. Um, when it comes to this also, it's not like looking for someone who would compliment you. Okay. So there, but anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's go to the next stage. The next stage would be the meeting. So they eventually meet, and this is well self-explanatory, and they have a good time, and it might feel like a soulmate relationship at first, for example, until it escalates, and it escalates fast to the third stage, which is the intense emotional state. So the feelings that one gets to experience in a twin flame bond is really intense, something you cannot explain, something you've never felt before, and it is very overwhelming. It's too much. It's like too much to handle, too much to contain sometimes. Now, too much that it leads to the fourth stage. The fourth stage, which is the stage of separation. Okay? Now, the stage of separation is said to be an inevitable part of the twin flame journey. So, this is where there is a certain dynamic that forms, which is called the runner and the chaser dynamic. Now the run, it's not like how you would imagine it, like one chasing after the other. It's not necessarily like that. Okay, so the emotions in both individuals are very intense, that it terrifies the both of them. It terrifies the both of them, and something that they can contain so much that one person starts pulling away from it, or sometimes the person starts denying it, or just because that person cannot contain it. And that's whom we call the chaser, uh the the runner, I mean, sorry, the runner. So there, that person would feel like they cannot live up to the love or the bond, or the intense emotions, or whatever it is that they feel that they share. They can't live up to it, so they start pulling away from it. Now, the other person, who is termed the runner in this case, is the one who keeps on making the other person feel worthy. Okay, so there, but then separation still happens. Well, because it is an inevitable process. Now, so we're in the part where it scares the heck out of both, and one pulls away, something like that, and they live separate lives there, and they might not communicate with each other for some time, or for a very long time, or whatever. But the purpose of this is for them to heal their individual wounds. Okay, for one thing, they have to heal their individual wounds. So these wounds are wounds not just from their interaction with each other, but they're wounds, for example, but they're wounds from their past relationships. Okay, they're wounds from their family life, from childhood, if they have, for instance, abandonment issues. If there were people in their lives that were not there for them, it became a trauma. Or sometimes the other traumatic um traumatic feelings that have been developed throughout the course of their lives. Okay, they try to heal this individually without the help of the other person. So you stand on your own, you deal with your own, like demons and skeletons in the closet, whatever you want, however you want to term it, and until you try to feel better and better about yourself, about your situation, something like that. Okay, and that is when, I think that's when you learn the value of self-love also. So there, as you heal, at the same time, the other purpose of that is, for example, to remove the obstacles that are keeping you from being united with each other. For example, if you have you are stuck in karmic relationships or karmic situations, whatever kind of relationships that are karmic, these are the obstacles that you have to push through and break down. And sometimes you have to step out of them if they're karmic relationships. Okay, so they're just like what was discussed in the previous video. So there, and that is where you try to work on your differences also, the things that might be obstacles in union, something like that. But basically, it's just working on yourself and learning how to love yourself through the process, and heal your wounds, like I don't know, it just occurred to me. It's just like you parent your inner child, and you heal your inner child. So there, so you independently do that as a separate unit of the twin flame. Okay, so there. Now, the like I was mentioning earlier that I did not actually continue. It's just like, when we used to say that like you're looking for someone to complete you, this is the stage when you try to complete yourself actually, and it's more ideal, and I think it's more healthy if that is your that is your concept and understanding of things, even when you're not in a twin flame journey. So it's like you try to complete yourself so that when you enter into a relationship, I'm speaking in general terms here, you don't rely on the other person to complete the empty parts of you, because that person would have empty parts also. So that is, I think, the beneficial stage of the benefit of this stage of the twin flame journey, which is actually applicable in relationships, in other healthy relationships. Okay, so there. Now the fifth stage of the twin flame journey is the what we call the surrender. Okay. Now where obstacles are, for example, already dealt with, and you start to regain your confidence and you feel more peaceful in yourself, like that, that is when both twin flames at that stage would sort of yearn for a union already. Okay, so there, in this stage also, it's like just the pure desire to be together there. And also in this stage, of course, if there's a certain desire, a pure desire to be together, you let go of ego, of pride, or of your control issues, and they're like, you let go of like how everything should be. It should be like this, it should be a certain date, and it should be like this, and he should be like this, and she should be like things like that. So let go of control. And it's just like, I think I could just say, safely say in here, like surrendering everything to God, just putting it out there, what your heart really longs for, and then letting go of the how, or letting go of how things are supposed to be, or so something like that. Okay, so there, which would bring us to dan union. Okay, now that is when both twin flames finally come together for union and as one. It's just like this, the souls merging together, still two separate bodies, but the souls which have grown individually already, like merge. So there, so there's appraisal, so wanting better for yourself and for another person. There's self-love, and then there's love for another person. And love is unconditional, it's giving, it's supportive, it's generous, so unselfish, just like the components of a soulmate relationship also, well, and more. So there, and chances are when soulmates are brought together, I also heard that they are really they are really kept apart, and there are a lot of forces that really keep them apart, because when they come together, they tend to have a mission together. So it's not just about the both of them, but at least to raise the vibration on earth, the yeah, just raise the vibration on earth, or to raise the frequency on earth, or something like that. And at the same time also, they're called to a to fulfill a mission, like for example, they work together and then they do something for the world, something like that. Okay, so of course, couples who do a lot of things for the world are not necessarily twin flames. They could be just soulmates and they do a lot of things for the world. But well, then now that, but because we're on the topic of the twin flame, there's that element to it. Okay, so um how I would describe a twin flame journey is just like, it's actually like a fairy tale. You get to have your happily ever after if you do there, but without the fairies, without the magic. You really have to do the work. You really have to work, especially on yourself. Okay, so there, and then you get your happily ever after, because you actually know how to navigate a relationship in a healthy manner, in a mature manner. So there, There's healing, there's growing, there's maturing. So all is well. Okay. Um there. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is just me, Alvie, saying find your strength, find your peace, and stay with God, whatever you conceive Him to be. He loves you so much. And if you think that you're in a twin flame journey, I wish you all the best. Strength and your happy ending. Okay. So God bless. Until next time. Bye.